Good morning, class. Today we'll do The Little Girl, that is the chapter 3rd of your book. I'll explain you the story of this chapter. Now, before you read, let us discuss what is the main thing which has been discussed throughout the chapter. Now, the title of the story, as you can see, refers to the main character that we'll come across, the little girl named Kezia. The theme of the story is the relationship between children and their parents, and the writer Catherine Mansfield wants to tell us that children share a very important bond of love with their parents. Although when children are small, when they are young, they do not feel that their parents love them because their parents are strict and many actions of the parents seems unjustified. But as children grow up, they realize that all the acts done by their parents were beneficial for them. The parents were concerned for them, and beneath the strictness lies a heart full of love for the children. And this bond of love between parents and their children has been highlighted throughout the story. Now when we read the story, we'll find out whether it is true or not. Now there is a question. This is a story about a little girl whose feelings for her father change from fear to understanding will probably find an echo in every home. Now, what does echo in every home means? Now, what do we mean by saying will probably find an echo in every home? This means that all the children feel very same as Kezia feels. So you can relate to the feeling of little girl Kezia, just like Kezia is full of fear towards her father, and later on she understands his behavior and feels that he was concerned and he loved her. All the children also have same feeling towards their parents, and you can relate to Kezia's story very well. Now let's move to the chapter. Now in the very first paragraph, to the little girl he was a figure to and avoided. A figure to be afraid means a person to be feared. Mostly the fathers. It is, and who is the figure of to be feared here? Here it is Kezia's father. So he here refers to Kezia's father, and the little girl is Kezia. In the opening line of the story, it indicates that the fear that Kezia has for her father. As she is fearful to her father, she tries to avoid him and she tries to remain away from him. Every morning before going to work, he came into her room and gave her a casual kiss, to which she responded with goodbye. Now what does it mean? So every morning before going to work, Kezia's father would visit her in her room and gave her a casual kiss. And in the reply, Kezia would say goodbye father. So this action of Kezia's father shows his love for Kezia. Now, there was a glad sense of relief when she heard the noise of carriage going fainter and fainter down the road. Now, glad sense of relief means feeling relaxed. Fainter and fainter means to lessen or to reduce. Now, carriage like horse carts were means of conveyance used in olden times. So here we can make out fear that Kezia has for her father. The writer says that when Kezia heard that her father's carriage was going away from home and he was leaving home and the sound became fainter and fainter, that means the sound reduced. Now Kezia would have a sense of relaxation. She would feel and relieved to that her father had left her home. Now why did she feel relieved? Because she feared her father. She was afraid of him, and so she was relieved when he left home. Now in the evening he came home. She stood near the staircase and heard his loud voice in the hall. Now in the evening when Kezia's father would return home, she would hear his loud voice, and his loud voice against made her afraid of him. Same thing again happened in the evening time. Now what did his father say at that time? Bring my tea into the drawing room. Hasn't the paper come yet? Mother, go and see if my paper's out there, and bring me my slippers. Now here what does the father tries to say? So Kezia's father returned home. He would start ordering all different things. He would order the tea to be served to him in the drawing room. He wanted the newspaper on his table. He would ask his mother to go and see if the newspaper was there outside in the house, and he would ask her to get him slippers also. Now come to the second paragraph. Kezia's mother would call to her, if you are a good girl, you can come down and take off father's boots. Now, and through these lines, Kezia's mother would call out her daughter, and ask her to remove her father's boot. In order to make her obey, she would say, if that she was a good girl, then surely she would obey her command. Slowly the girl would slip down the stairs, more slowly still across the hall, and push open the drawing room door. Now slip means down. Come down quietly and unwillingly, as she does not want to go near to her father. So again, we see Kezia's fear for her father. That is why she would come down the stairs quietly and unwillingly. Unwillingly because she did not want to face her father. She feared him. By that time, he had his specs on and looked at her over them in a way that was terrifying to the little girl. Now just imagine Kezia's father sitting in the drawing room on a sofa wearing his spectacles, and he is looking at Kezia over the spectacles, and now the way he looked at her terrified her. It means feared her. She was horrified because maybe it seemed to her that he was staring at her, maybe in anger. So, well, Kezia, hurry up and pull off these boots and take them outside. Have you been a good girl today? Now, this is been by father. Kezia was reluctant in her work. She was slow in her motion, and so her father would tell her to hurry up and remove his boots and keep them out of the room. And then he would ask her if she had been a good girl that day. Now, what was Kezia's reply? She said, I don't know, father. Now in this way, Kezia replied that she don't know. So why she is stammering? Because she was not confident. A person is not confident when he has feeling of fear. We know this thing. Now, you don't know? If you stutter like that, mother will have to take you to the doctor. Now what his father is saying? Stutter means to stammer, to speak with pauses. So here Kezia's father is copying her. And he also stammers like she did. He says to her that if she stuttered like that, then her mother would take her to the doctor for a checkup. Now, next move to the paragraph 3rd. Now she never stuttered with other people, had quite given it up, but only with father, because then she was trying so hard to say the words properly. Now given up means to stop doing. Trying so hard means making a lot of efforts. So here the writer tells us that Kezia never stammered while she spoke to the other people. It was only when she talked to her father that she lacked confidence, and that is why she tried very hard to speak properly and she stammered. What's the matter? What are you looking for rest about? So, mother, I wish you taught this child not appear on the brink of suicide. Here Kezia carry a teacup back to the table carefully. Now, rest means unhappy or sad. On the brink of suicide means about to commit suicide. Suicide, you mean, kill oneself. Now here in these lines, now Kezia's father looked at her. He feels that something is wrong with her, and he asked her why she is so unhappy. And then he tells the mother that she should teach Kezia to behave in a better way, and she should not appear as if she is unhappy, that she is about to end her life. So he wants to say that Kezia seems to be so unhappy with her life that she did not want to live any longer. He hands her his teacup and asks her to place it back on the table. He was so big, his hands and his neck, especially his mouth, when he yawned. Thinking about him alone was like thinking about a giant. Now this was Kezia's feeling. Now here, this is the feeling, this is the vision that Kezia has for her father. She feels that her father was so big. He was just like a giant. And the writer says that Kezia felt that his hand and his neck and his mouth were so huge, especially when he yawned. It seems as if he was a huge monster to Kezia. And whenever Kezia thought about her father, she felt that he was thinking about a giant. Now the 4th paragraph. On Sunday afternoons, grandfather sent her down to the drawing room to have a nice talk with father and mother. Now, so every Sunday during afternoon, Kezia's grandmother sent her downstairs to the drawing room in order to spend time with her parents. So Kezia was supposed to behave in a nice and decent way in front of her parents, and they had a formal get together. But The little girl always found mother reading and father stretched out on the long sofa, his handkerchief on his face, his feet on the best of his cushions, sleeping soundly and snoring. Snoring means the sound produced by some people when they are asleep. So here we feel that Kezia felt bit neglected every Sunday. When she went to her parents to meet them in the drawing room and have a nice talk with them, they were busy in doing their own things. Her mother was busy in reading and her father was busy sleeping and snoring. So Kezia had this image of her parents in her mind, that they did not talk with her, they did not want to spend time with her, and on the other hand they were busy doing their own things. So she sat on a stool, gravely watched him until he woke and stretched and asked the time, then looked at her. Now gravely means seriously. So all the while Kezia's father was asleep, she'd just sit on the stool and watch him carefully till the time he woke up and stretch his body, and then would ask the time and look at her. Don't stare so, Kezia, you look like a little brown owl. Now Kezia's father would compare Kezia to a little brown owl. He would say that Kezia was staring at him just like an owl does. One day when she was kept indoors with a cold, her grandmother told her that her father suddenly and she was kept indoors with a cold. Her grandfather told her that father's birthday was next week. She suggested she should make him a pincushion for a gift out of a beautiful piece of yellow silk. Now this was suggestion given by Kezia's grandmother to her. Now Kezia was not well. She had a cold. She was supposed to stay at home. So her grandmother suggested that she was at home and her father's birthday was coming, so she could make a birthday gift for him. She asked Kezia to make a pincushion for him, and she also gave him a yellow colored fabric of silk to make the cushion. Now come to the fifth paragraph. Laboriously with a double cotton, the little girl stitched 3 sides. What does this mean? Laboriously means with great effort or with great difficulty. Now Kezia put in a lot of effort to make her father's birthday gift. She used double cotton, means a thread, and she stitched 3 sides of the cushion. But what to fill with? That's the question. Now Kezia had to prepare the bag shape of cushion. She had to stitch the 4th side, and before that what she has to do, she has to fill something in it. So she didn't know what to fill in the cushion with. Now the grandmother was out in the garden. She wandered into mother's bedroom to look for scraps. Wandered means went into by chance. Scraps means small pieces of cloth or paper that are not needed. So Kezia was confused that what should she use to fill the cushions with. As her grandmother was out in the garden and she was just looking for something, she reached her mother's bedroom. She was looking for bits of paper or cloths to stuff into the cushion. So on the bed table she discovered great many sheets of fine paper, gathered them up, tore them into tiny pieces and stuffed her case. Case means the cushion she made, and then sewed up the 4th side. Finally she made the cushion. Now Kezia is a small little girl. She is very young. Now what she do? On the bed table she found a heap of sheet of paper. So she just gathered all the sheets and then tore them and stuffed those pieces of paper into the cushion. And then she stitched the 4th side of the cushion, and she had prepared a birthday gift for her father. So many of you can relate to Kezia's act. Many children do such things unknowingly. They do not intend it to create any mischiefs, or they do not want to create any harm to their parents, but unknowingly they do. So now Kezia has torn some important papers of her father without knowing that these papers are important for her father. Now that night there was a hue and cry in the house. Father's great speech for the Port Authority had been lost. Now what had happened? Hue and cry means angry protest. When somebody is in anger, So now there was a lot of shouting in the house because Kezia's father had prepared a speech for the port authority, and that is kind of a particular meeting, and he was unable to find it. Now we all know where the speech has gone. It had been torn into pieces and Kezia had stuffed it into the cushion. So what had happened? Now rooms were searched, servants were questioned. Finally, mother came into Kezia's room. Now the family searched everywhere. They asked the servants, but no one knew where the sheets of paper had gone. And finally, the mother reached Kezia's room. Now, Kezia, I suppose you didn't see some papers on a table in your room. So Kezia's mother asked her if she saw some papers lying on a table in her mother's room. Oh yes, she said, I tore them up for my surprise. Now what she replies? She say, now here we get to see that Kezia is an innocent girl. She did not intend to harm anyone. She was just preparing her father's gift, and so very truly she tells her mother that she found some pieces of paper and then she needed them to stuff into the cushion. So she torn them and prepared her surprise gift. That is a birthday gift for her father. She had prepared for her father. Unknowingly, Kezia had done a great disaster. What? Screamed mother. Come straight down to the dining room this instant. Now, Kezia's mother is so furious, means so angry, when she came to know that Kezia has torn the speech that her father is looking for, and so she ordered Kezia to come down into the dining room that very moment. And she was dragged down to where father was pacing to and fro, hands behind his back. Now Kezia's father is full of tension as his important documents has been lost. Kezia has torn it into pieces. Now Kezia will be scolded for the mischief that she has done. Well, he said sharply. Mother explained. He stopped and he stared at the child. Did you do that? No, she whispered. Mother, go up to her room and fetch down the damn thing. See that the child's put to bed this instant. So, in these lines, you can see the damn thing means here is the anger the father expressed for his daughter. Now, why is Kezia's father referring to the cushion that she has prepared for the damn thing? Because he is angry at the cushion because Kezia has torn his important documents to prepare it. Now he is very angry with Kezia and he stared at her and asked her if she had torn those papers. Kezia was so scared that she was again stammering, and then Kezia's father ordered mother to go and bring that cushion, the damn thing what he is referring to, and to the downstairs, and ask her to put Kezia's to bed at that very moment. Now come to the paragraph 7. Crying too much to explain. She lay in the shadowed room watching the evening light make a sad little pattern on the floor. Now, shadowed room means it was dark room. There was a light outside the room which was making shadows in the room. A sad little pattern refers to the sad atmosphere in the room here. So Kezia wanted to justify her action as she was innocent. She did not mean to harm her father. She was just preparing a surprise gift for him. Kezia was very sad. She had been happy that she had prepared a surprise for her father and he would like it. But on the other hand, she had accidentally committed a disaster. Then father came into the room with a ruler in his hands. Now he is about to punish Kezia for doing something wrong. What she has done. I am going to beat you for this, he said. Now here in these lines, what he is trying to tell her that he would going to beat her. Oh no, she screamed, hiding under the bedclothes. So bedclothes means the bed sheets. To the top of the sheets we cover ourselves. So now Kezia's father told her that he would beat her with a ruler. Kezia was so scared that she tried to hide under the bed sheets. He pulled them aside. Sit up, he ordered, and hold out your hands. You must be taught once for all not to touch what does not belong to you. Now here you can see that her father is so angry. So now we come to know that Kezia's father was being strict with her. Why was he punishing her? Because he wanted Kezia to know that this thing what she does was wrong. She should not touch the thing that does not belongs to her. He wanted to teach her this thing so that it benefits her in her future life. Right now she was a small child and she didn't know what was important and what was not important. That is why she unknowingly she had torn the important documents of her father, and so he was trying to punish her. He didn't know what harm to do to Kezia, but he wanted the Kezia should know that in the future she should not touch anything that does not belongs to her. But the child never forget. But it was your birthday. Now what she was trying to say, Kezia tried to explain her position. She said that she had been preparing her father's birthday gift and she had to stuff with something. She just tore the pages and stuffed them into the cushion. She was trying to explain to him that she was just preparing a birthday gift for him. She does not want to hurt him. But Kezia's father did not want to listen to her excuses. Now down came the ruler on her little pink palms. It means Kezia's father hit her palms with the ruler. Now hours later, when grandmother had wrapped her in a shawl and rocked her in a rocking chair, the child clung to her soft body. Now clung means to get attached to something or yourself to something. Now Kezia was so afraid. She had got beating. Her father had hit her small little palms with the ruler, and many hours later her grandmother wrapped her in a shawl and was trying to pacify her. It means cool down her. She made her feel comfortable, so she made her sit on her lap on a rocking chair and she was trying to put Kezia to sleep. Kezia clung to her grandmother. So, what did God make fathers for? She sobbed. Now, while sobbing, she asked, what did God make fathers for? So, Kezia was still not comfortable. She was crying and she said that God should not have made fathers. She hated fathers. She was so innocent. She didn't know what wrong she had done. She just preparing a gift for her father, and she was heartbroken because she knew she didn't understand that why her father beat her. So out of innocence she said God should not have made fathers. Now here's a clean hanky, darling. Blow your nose, go to sleep, you'll forget all about it. In the morning I tried to explain to father, but he was too upset to listen tonight. Now what does her grandmother trying to say? She was trying to pacify her. She gave her a handkerchief to blow her nose in it and ask her to go to sleep. She added that by morning Kezia would forget the beating done by her father, and she just trying to justify her father. She said that she was trying to explain him the reason of tearing papers, but he was not ready to listen to her now. So she again see that little child was so innocent. She did not realize that her father hit her to teach her lesson, so that she did not touch anything which does not belongs to her in the near future. Now, but the little child never forget. Next time she saw him, she quickly put both hands behind her back and a red color flew into her cheeks. Now Kezia's grandmother had told her to go to sleep and that by morning she would forget that beating the father gave her. But Kezia never forget the beating that she had done whenever she saw her father approaching. She would keep her hands behind her back because she felt that maybe he would hit her again, and red color flew back into her cheeks. It means she got afraid, she got scared, so her cheeks turned red in color. Now in the next paragraph, the McDonald's lives next door. They had 5 children. Looking through the gap in the fence, the little girl saw them playing tag. In the evening, the father with the baby Mao on his shoulders, 2 little girls hanging on his coat pockets, ran round and round the flower bed, shaking with laughter. Once he saw the boys turn the hose on him, he tried to catch them laughing all the time. Now here in this paragraph, what the child is seeing, what Kezia was peeping into her neighbor's house. She saw that her neighbors were a family named McDonald's. In all, McDonald have 5 children, and Kezia would peep at them through a hole in the fence. She would see that family had a lot of fun. They played a game called tag. It's a kind of a children game in which catching one another, like a play of catch play. So all the children along with their father would have a lot of fun. MacDonald would make his little baby mouse sit on his shoulders, and the 2 little daughters that they had would hang on his coat pockets. So all the children were so much attached to their father. They loved him so much, and they would stick to him. And then they would run around the garden, around the flower beds, and they would laugh and laugh and laugh. Kezia also wanted to have such kind of fun with her father too, but she missed it. One day she saw the little sons of Mr. MacDonald open the hose on him. They opened the water pipe and tried to make him wet. But Mr. MacDonald was not angry with them. He tried to catch them and he was laughing. This was very strange for Kezia because her father was just opposite of Mr. MacDonald. Then it was she decided there were different sort of fathers. Now when Kezia saw Mr. Donald, she realized that he was quite opposite to her father. She felt that God had made various kinds of fathers. Suddenly one day, mother became ill, and she and her grandmother went to hospital. When her mother fell ill, so her grandmother took her mother to the hospital, and she also went along with her. Now, Alice. What happened? Now Alice was putting her to bed, and she grew suddenly afraid. The little girl was left alone with the house with Alice the cook. That was all right in the daytime. Now, but while Kezia was all alone at home with the cook, the cook's name was Alice. Now Kezia was fine during the day, but during night when the cook put Kezia to bed all alone, Kezia started feeling scared. But while Alice, in the 10th paragraph, what I'll do if I have a nightmare, she asked. I often have nightmares, and then Granny takes me to her bed. I can't stay in the dark, it all gets whispery. Now here, what Kezia wants to tell her cook, she was saying that it's okay during the daytime, she could live without her parents, but what if she had a nightmare means a bad dream. Now Kezia was trying to ask her cook that if she had a bad dream, what would she do then. Now Kezia explained to Alice that whenever she had a nightmare, she would go to her grandmother and she would sleep with her. So she said that she could not stay all alone in the dark because she would be scared. She could hear different kind of whispering sounds, which made her feel that there was somebody else who was around her. You just go to sleep, child, said Alice, pulling off her socks, and don't you scream and wake your poor pa. Now, so Kezia's father was also sleeping in the next room, and Alice told Kezia to sleep quietly. She removed Kezia's socks and asked her not to scream. It means not to cry. She wanted her not to scream and wake her father, but Kezia was helpless because she scared. But at the same time, old nightmare came, the butcher with a knife and a rope, who came nearer and nearer, smiling that dreadful smile while she could not move, could only stand still, crying out, Grandma, Grandma. She woke shivering to see father beside her bed, a candle in his hand. Now, butcher is a person who cut meats. So, now this is a nightmare that Kezia had seen. She would see a butcher. A butcher would hold a big knife, a huge butcher's knife, and a rope. He would approach Kezia. He had a dreadful smile on his face, and this is a nightmare in which Kezia often had this kind of a nightmare. She would see a butcher. So this butcher was holding a big knife, and a rope. He had a dreadful smile on his face. Now Kezia would see him. She gets scared. She was unable to move. She was much scared of him. She was terrified to see the butcher, and in her sleep she cried out so loudly for help. She called for her grandmother. When Kezia woke up, she was shivering, she was trembling, and she saw that her father was standing next to her bed and was holding a candle in his hand. So Kezia's father had heard her screams and he had approached to her because he knew that Kezia was calling for grandmother, and he had come to help her. So, what's the matter? He said. Now he asked Kezia what's the matter, why she was screaming. Oh, a butcher, a knife, I want granny. Sorry. Now, Kezia was still scared of the nightmare. She said that there was a butcher, he was holding a dreadful knife, and she wanted her grandmother. He blew out the candle. So, you can see that the child got scared. She got scared, she cried out loudly, and her father approached her. He blew out candle, bent down and caught up the little child in his arms, carrying her along the passage to the big bedroom. So here you can see the affection that Kezia's father has shown for his daughter. He blew the candle off, he lifted her and carried her to his bedroom. A newspaper was on the bed. He put away the paper, then carefully tucked up the child. Tucked up means covered the child with a bed sheet or blanket, whatever is available. Now Kezia's father lay in her bed next to him and covered with her top sheets. He lay down beside her, half asleep still with the butcher's smile all about her it seemed. She crept close to him, snuggled her head under his arm, held tightly to his shirt. Now snuggled means moved into the warm, comfortable position close to another person. Mostly the children do when they were sleeping. Now Kezia's father has shown his affection, and so she went close to him. She snuggled herself towards her father, and she held his shirt tightly so she would not feel scared. And now Kezia had overcome her fear because of her father. Then the dark did not matter. She lay still. Now in this, here, now Kezia was with her father. She was no longer afraid. Here, rub your feet against my legs and get them warm, said father. He asked Kezia to rub her feet against his legs to make them warm. Tired out, he slept before the little girl. A funny feeling came over her. So, as Kezia's father was very tired, he slept before she did. A funny feeling came over her. Poor father, not so big after all, with no one look after him. He was harder than grandmother, but it was a nice hardness, and every day he had to work hard, and he was too tired to be Mr. MacDonald. She had torn up all his beautiful writings. She stirred suddenly and sighed. Now in these lines, what does Kezia was feeling? Kezia realizes her mistake. She had grown an affection towards her father. She felt that her father was a poor man. He worked so hard, and he was not so big. She found him to be earlier. Now she felt that her father was a poor man who worked very hard, and she got tired that he went off sleep, did not play with her like Mr. MacDonald did with his children. But Kezia felt that her father's heart was also full of love for her. She realizes that she did a mistake. She torn up his important documents of the speech that he had written, and with this realization, she took a deep breath, and she realizes that she had been wrong, and that's why her father had beaten her. He had been so strict with her. Now she came to know the reason behind her father's strictness. Now, what's the matter? Asked her father. Another dream? When he opened his eyes, he found that Kezia was not sleeping. Now, although when his father found out that Kezia was not sleeping, he heard her sigh. He asked Kezia asked her what's the matter. Was she again watched any dream? Oh, said the little girl, my head's on your heart, and I can hear it going. What's a big heart you have got, father dear. Now Kezia replied to her father that she had placed her heart on her father's heart and she could hear his heartbeat. And she complimented her father that he had a big heart. So Kezia is showing her love for her father as she had realized that her father also loved her. Now in this story we have come to know that what was the feeling of a girl in the beginning about her father and what was her feeling now at the end of the story. Now the feelings have changed. Now she had understood her father well, and she has also come to know about the kind of a mistake she did, and she also come to know that why her father was so strict to her, because he wanted to teach her something for her future. This was the all story. Children, I hope you have understand the story. Thank you.